Listen up, baseball fans.
This ball is gone.
It's time for Toledo Mud Hens Baseball.
This could be the big salami.
This presentation of Toledo Mud Hens Baseball is brought to you by ProMedica, by Fifth Third Bank, Metzger's, by Corner Dental, ABC Warehouse, by Frickers, Meyer, by Toft's Dairy, and by True House. Now, here's the Hall of Fame voice of the Hens, Jim Weber.
And good evening, everyone. It's time for some Mud Hens baseball. This is Jim Weber back once again from Victory Field in downtown Indianapolis. This is going to be a very short delay. The game was scheduled to go about 9 minutes ago, and we're not too far away from starting. The rain had cleared the area. They just had to get the field prepared, and now the Indians are taking the field. We'll go back over those lineups quickly for you before we start this Game 3 of the 6-game series. For the Mud Hens, leading off tonight in left field, it's Riley Unroe. Batting second at first base, Spencer Torkelson. Hitting third at third, Jay Shung. Hitting fourth in right field, Justice Bigby. Batting fifth in center, it's Andrew Navigado. Hitting sixth and catching, Anthony Bemboom. Batting seventh at short, Drew Maggi. Hitting eighth to DH, Stephen Scott. Batting ninth at second, Luis Santana. And again, the Mud Hens are starting Andrew Vasquez. We thought it would be Herder. I don't think he's been called to Detroit yet. They expected he would be, but instead the two pitchers that went up were Hannafy and Gunther. Sean Gunther, I think, probably deserved it. He was throwing well. So Gunther and Hannafy are the two guys called up. And we'll go over those other changes that have been made. We mentioned them just a bit earlier. Patrick Lee, an outfielder, is up from West Michigan. Eddie's Leonard is reinstated. That's good news. He's not in the lineup, but he's reinstated. Also, Troy Watson, assigned to the Mud Hens. He's a pitcher. Jack Anderson, a right-hander, up from West Michigan. And Austin Bergner, back up from Erie. All right, those are people that have rejoined the Mud Hens or have joined the Mud Hens for the first time. So what's going on, because of those deals that Detroit made, a lot of people are getting chances at higher levels that they would have seen normally. And I'm sure they're all very happy about it, those that are going up. And that's the direction, of course, you want to go, is up and not down. But that's life in professional baseball. Sometimes you're going up, sometimes you're coming down. Defensively, for the Indians, they have Gorski in left tonight, Oliveris in center, Sawinski in right. On the infield, Nunez at third, Peguero is the shortstop. York at second base, Beer playing first, and DeLay is behind the plate. That's the defensive alignment, brought to you by Frames Pest and Wildlife Control for Miguel Perez and his Indianapolis Indians. All right, so in about another minute or so, we'll see the first pitch as Luis Sessa, a former Mud Hen, of course, a former New York Met. You know, after he left the Mud Hens, he had a pretty good career going in the right direction for a long time. We talked about all the places that he had been after he pitched for the Mud Hens in 2015. Yeah, the next year in Scranton, then going to the Yankees, and then in 17, Scranton and the Yankees again. Then he stayed up there with the Yankees in 18, 19, 20, and 21. Then with the Cincinnati Reds in 21 and 22. And so far this year with Omaha and now Indianapolis. Again, that's Luis Sessa. As the Mud Hens get ready to hit Riley Unroe, getting ready to step in. Again, a slight delay. The rain had cleared the area probably about a half hour ago, but they had to get the field ready. That's why we had the slight delay. And from what I could see moments ago when I tried to check the radar, it looked like we were in the clear for quite a while. Of course, you never know, but that's the way it's looking right now. The Mud Hens have lost the first two games of this series by the same scores of 7-5. Last night, they did it again. They rallied for 5 runs in the ninth inning, had the tying runs in scoring position before Heller came in to strike out the last batter of the game, and the Mud Hens would drop it 7-5. But again, a pretty good comeback. The night before, they rallied for 2 and had a chance to tie the game or take the lead, and then the same thing last night. So they certainly haven't quit fighting, that's for sure. Sessa ready to go, and here comes Riley Unroe, an 11-game hitting streak for Riley. 14 for 37, 3 for 6 in the series. I'm sure they would have had a lot more people had it not been for the rain, and maybe a few more will show up, but it is a Thursday night. It's not your biggest drawing night of the week. Here we go. First pitch of tonight's game, down low, ball 1. Unroll hitting 300 even. 3 homers, 14 driven in. We're just underway. And it's about a 13 or 14 minute delay. Swinging a foul. 91 mile an hour fastball from Sessa, and the count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Spencer Torkelson next, then Jace Young. Let's see if the Mud Hens can bounce back tonight. Again, 2 tough losses the last couple of days, both by the same scores of 7-5. As Sessa deals, and Unroll will take a swing and miss on a good changeup. 85 mile an hour changeup. It had Riley swinging just a little bit early. This is game 3 of the 6-game set. It's game number 104 on the year. As Unroll waits, and here it comes. He'll take a swing. He hits it hard up the middle. Diving stop. Throw back to first. Not in time as Unroll with good speed beat that by a step and a half. As York at second had to dive and then get himself back up. By the time he did all that and made the throw, it was a step and a half too late. So that'll be a single for Riley Unroll to start the game. It looked like the ball would get into center field anyway. But yeah, he beat the throw, by quite a bit. At least a step and a half. And here comes Spencer Torkelson, 1 for 5 in the 2 games in this series so far. Batting .244, throw to first, and Unroll gets back in time. They're going to keep an eye on him. So we are underway after a very short delay. The pitch to Torque is in the dirt, ball 2, an 81 mile an hour slider. After Spencer, it's Jace Young here in the top half of the first. Again, it was only about a 12 or 13 minute delay. As the right-hander Sessa deals, and it's right down the middle, hit way up in the air to short left center. Coming on the left fielder, well, you know what? The shortstop is out there with him. And Gorski coming in from left did not call him off. He let him take it. There's one down. Torkelson got under that one. And Jace Young, the next batter. Young 0 for 10 in this series. 0 for 5 in the first game, and then 0 for 5 again last night, so he's about due. As he'll take a ball low, ball 1. Unroll at first base, 1 out, top half of the first after Young, then it's Justice Bigby. As Luis ready. And Sessa now throws to first, but diving back in time is Unroll. Riley does have 10 steals. Badu not playing tonight. Meadows not in the lineup. Sweeney not in the lineup. We haven't seen him yet. And a fastball that's fouled away off the bat of Jace Young. It was a 91 mile an hour fastball. Count 1-1. Jace with Unroll again taking a good-sized lead at first base. Pitch in is hit in the air to right field, but not deep at all. Coming in 3 steps to make the grab is Sawinski, and there's 2 down. 2 down, and Justice Bigby, the next batter. So the first 2 games in Indy, the Mud Hens have staged rallies in the 9th inning. They need to do it a little bit earlier than waiting until the last second. As Bigby steps in, 2 for 9 in this series, batting .257. 2 outs, Unroll at first. We're just underway after a very short delay. I don't think the official score has posted the delay. Nope, he'll do that in the final box score, but again, I think it was like 13 minutes maybe. Pitch in is a breaking ball. Runner goes, and the throw into center field. But Riley went in head first. He didn't have a chance to get up. He is slow to get up. He hurt himself on that head first diving slide. I don't know if he jammed a hand or what happened. Let's see if we can pick it up on replay. The throw down from delay. And let's see what happened there. He might have just jammed his hand into the bag. But he's got the bag, and that is his 11th steal. They're going to check him to see if he's okay. You never know what's going to happen, especially when you go into a headfirst diving slide. What's liable to happen? They're checking him out. I think Chris is satisfied that he's okay. Yeah, they're checking his rib cage under the left arm. They've got him raising the arm up, and I guess he says, you know what, it's okay. I just kind of picked up a stinger as he gets the bag and is at second base in the top half of the first inning. Still trying to get himself stretched out a little bit. Justice Bigby, the batter, with the count of strike one. Pitch coming in is a curveball hit slowly towards third. The quick flip over is in time to get Bigby 5-3, and that'll end the Mud Hens' first inning as they pick up a hit and leave a man at second base. We have played a half inning after a very short delay. The bottom of the first is coming up. It's Toledo nothing with Indianapolis coming to bat for the first time. This is Mud Hens baseball. Tonight's starter for the Mud Hens will be Andrew Vasquez. It'll be his second start of the year, a record of 5-2 and a 5.53 ERA. Let's hope he can give Tim at least 3 good innings, maybe more, depending on the pitch count. Here's Edward Olivares to start the Indians' first inning. We'll go back down their lineup one more time. We did it earlier before the 13-minute delay. That's the official delay time, 13 minutes. After Olivares, it's Jack Sawinski and then Henry Davis. There's a foul ball down the third baseline. In the fourth spot, Nick York batting fifth. Leover Peguero hitting sixth. It's Malcolm Nunez batting seventh. Jason DeLay hitting eighth. Seth Beer. And batting ninth, Matt Gorski. For the Mud Hens in the field, their defensive alignment, brought to you by Frames Pest and Wildlife Control, has Unrow in left field tonight. Navigado in center. Bigby in right. On the infield, Young plays third, Maggi at short. On the right side, Santana at second, Torkelson at first base, and behind the plate, Bemboom. A couple of foul balls. It's strike two on Edward Olivares. He's hit in his last 2 games, including a home run. He's 3 for 8 in the series. Pitch in from Vasquez. Right there, strike 3. So he starts the game with a strikeout. Got that fastball over at the knees, and it brings up Jack Sawinski. Well, that's about the best start that Vasquez could hope for. As he'll now face Jack Sawinski, who is working out a hitting streak that has reached 4. The left-handed batter takes the curve right there, strike 1. Again, Sean Gunther and Brendan Hannafy both went to Detroit. Here comes the next pitch, fouled away, and of course, both of those guys had pitched well most of the time, Hannafy and Gunther. We're going to see more moves, I'm sure. There's still a lot of games remaining after this game. There's still 45 to go. And the curveball hit up in the air to right field, but it's not that deep. Waiting for it, Bigby. He waits for it to come down. It was a very high drive. There's 2 down, and that'll bring up Henry Davis. Both of these teams have a batter with an 11-game hitting streak, and here comes theirs in Henry Davis. 3 for 6 in this series, batting .324, 10 homers, 31 driven in. But Andrew Vasquez has retired the first 2. Now he'll face the right-handed hitting Henry Davis, and the pitch in is just a bit inside, ball 1. We'll keep a close eye on the pitch count. He's only up to 8 pitches, so a good first inning so far for Vasquez. As he deals, and the next ball is going to be a ball. It's a slider low, 79 miles an hour. To run the count to 2-0 on Davis. But he has home run power. They're trying to pitch to him carefully. Another ball. He hasn't given him a fastball yet. That was another slider down in the dirt and inside. It nearly hit him on the foot. And it's 3-0. Nick York to follow. 7 of their 9 hitters are on some sort of a streak, whether it be a modest streak or a good one. And the 3-0 is right there. It's fouled away to make it 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Montero pitching for Detroit tonight. Kansas City leads 3-0. Here comes a 3-1, and it's hit way up in the air off first base. That's in the seats. And Vasquez has come back to make it a 3-2 count. Andrew has a record of 5-2. That's one of the better records on the club. Of course, it's hard to go by the records because as a reliever, sometime you come into the game at the right time. Here's a pop-up near first. Torkelson near the bag has it. That's the inning. So Andrew Vasquez with a nice start, getting the Indians 1-2-3. We move on to the second. Our delay was only 13 minutes, and the score, Toledo 0, Indianapolis 0. This is Mud Hens baseball. For Toledo in the second, it's Andrew Navigado, Anthony Bemboom, and Drew Maggi. No score. The Mud Hens did pick up a leadoff single in the first off the bat of Riley Unroe. He stole a bag, but the inning ended on a ground out. So there's no score. Navigado batting .289 with 13 homers and 58 driven in and 15 stolen bases. Pitch coming into him is a strike at the knees, and that's going to be challenged. It looked to be low from here. Of course, I'm a lot further away than they are, and we'll see what the challenge shows. This is a second inning challenge, and yeah, he was right. It was low by quite a bit, actually, a good 2 to 3 inches. It doesn't sound like much, but actually that's quite a bit when things are that tight. So it was a ball. Next pitch in, a curve, drops right in there. No challenge on that one, and the count now will be 2 balls and a strike. Navigado 1 for 7 in the first 2 games of this series. Pitch coming is swung on and missed. He went for a slider that broke down close to the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Andrew, to be followed by Anthony Bemboom and then Drew Maggi. The 1-2 is hit up in the air, foul. It's into the seats upstairs on the first base side. Victory Field is spacious. They hold quite a few. When they sell out, they're talking 14,000, 15,000. Pitch in is a good one, but a little bit outside, apparently. As Navigado now looks at a 2-2 count. And the next pitch, he starts to chase a bad one. Did he go? He did not. That first base umpire, that's the crew chief, Edwin Jimenez, says nope, he did not go around. So it's 3-2. Navigado waits for the payoff, and here it comes. And a swing and a foul ball. We're in good shape weather-wise there now. Nothing else is going to come through there until midnight or later. They may get more later, but that's a good 4 or 5 hours away. So we should be in good shape for the rest of this one after that short delay. Another 3-2 to Navigado. He'll take a swing and miss. He went for a high, hard one. That probably was too high to be a strike, but you know what? Those always look good on their way in. That's the first strikeout for Luis Sosa. 1 out, and it brings up Anthony Bemboom, who's 0 for 2 in the series. Bemboom hitting .225. He's going to get to play a lot more now that Dingler is up. That was certainly not a surprise. They expected him to get up all along, sooner or later this year. And, of course, the trade of Kelly made it come around in a hurry. And Detroit had that kind of in their plans. They knew they would probably move Kelly, which they did. That got Dingler up there. He and Rogers will probably catch maybe 50-50. I thought maybe Dingler would see most of the action, but we'll see. I think they also want to play Jake Rogers quite a bit. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Anthony Bemboom. Luis Sosa deals, and it's a curveball outside to even things up at 2-2. That was an 82-mile-an-hour slider. And let's see what he gets here, waiting on that 2-2. Here it comes. And he'll take a swing and foul it away. It was a good fastball coming right down the middle. As Anthony spoiled it. Drew Maggi up next. The only two people that have had a decent series so far, Riley Unroe and Steven Scott. Scott has picked up 3 hits in the first 2 games. Unroe, with his single tonight to start the game, now has 4 hits in this series. And Bigby has a couple. Everyone else has 1 or none. And there's a foul ball at the plate. Torkelson 1 hit in the first 2 games. Jace Young trying to snap out of an 0 for 11 streak. Navigado has 1 hit. Maggi 1 hit. Santana 1 hit. Those are totals in the first 2 games. Swing and a miss on a low slider. Down he goes. As Bemboom went for one that was nearly in the dirt. I'll tell you, when you throw a good slider, it looks pretty good for a while. And all of a sudden, where did it go? See, that looks like it's going to come in at the knees, and it just dropped right off the table. 2 down, both on strikeouts for Luis Sessa, and here comes Drew Maggi. Maggi 1 for 4 in the first 2 games of this series. He's played in 1 game. And he'll take a huge swing and hit one up in the air down the third baseline. Chasing in foul ground and making the grab was Nunez, and that's all for the Mud Hens in their half of inning number 2. That ball was caught in the bullpen as he pops out to the third baseman. So we will move on now to the bottom half of the second at Victory Field. There's no score at this point between the Mud Hens and Indians. This is Mud Hens baseball. Only taken the Tigers and Royals 1 hour to get to the 5th inning, with Kansas City leading 3-1. That game in Detroit, while the Mud Hens and Indians are scoreless after a very short delay to start the game of 13 minutes. And now hitting in the second inning, Nick York starts things off, and he's already challenged a pitch. So let's see what happens. The strike was called. He thinks it's a ball, and it was. It just missed the zone. So he wins that challenge. It's ball 1 on Nick York. 1 hit in the series. He's hit in 5 straight games. The 1-0 pitch from Vasquez is just missing. And there is a strike called this time. Leover Peguero next, and then Malcolm Nunez were scoreless in the second at Victory Field. Vasquez deals. It's just a little bit high. And that runs the count to 2-1 on Nick York. A .311 hitter, by the way. He smashes one in the left field line drive. It's going to be caught. Nice grab out there by Unroe, who had the perfect read on it. 1 down. It brings up Leover Peguero. No score in the game. 3rd game of the series. It's a 6-game set. The Mud Hens still lead the series 8-6, even with the 2 losses. Now as Andrew Vasquez, the fill-in starter, deals, and the curve is way outside. So ball 1 on Peguero. He's hit in 4 straight, including a home run. 3 for 9 in the series. A .251 hitter with 9 homers and 59 driven in. Vasquez will get that curveball over, and after shaking his head, Peguero says, I'm going to challenge that. He doesn't think it's a strike, so here we go again. A lot of early challenges. Oh, it just caught the zone. So he may not want to challenge again for a while. That is a strike. Barely. But as long as it touches that strike zone square, that's all it takes. So the 1-1 coming to Peguero. As Vasquez deals, and that one right down the middle. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. And again, Andrew Vasquez ready, and a shot foul. He had the curveball coming inside. It's pulled into the seats or just past the last section down that third baseline. 1-2 on Peguero. Malcolm Nunez, the next batter. No score in the second. Andrew Vasquez serving up his 22nd pitch and a swing and a little ground ball. Who's going to make this play? Nobody. One of those swinging bunt singles. You take the full swing, it looks like a bunt. Goes down the first line. Nobody could get it in time. That'll be a one-out single for Peguero to bring up Malcolm Nunez. The only guy that could have made that play would have been Andrew Vasquez, the pitcher, but he just couldn't get to it. Once it got by him, it was going to be a hit. A hit that traveled maybe 65 feet. Vasquez now fires a strike into the next batter, Malcolm Nunez, who's hit in 7 straight. 2 for 7 in the 2 games in this series. A .263 hitter with 10 homers, 49 driven in. And the 0-1 is close but a bit inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. All these games at 7:05 until we get to Sunday. Then it's a 1:35 game. Curveball outside. 2-1 on Nunez to be followed by Jason DeLay. We are scoreless in the home half of number 2. Vasquez fires, and that one hit hard but foul down the third baseline. A few more folks now have entered the stadium, realizing that the game is being played. The rain had passed through. It was heavy for a while, but it cleared the area almost in time to start the game on time. It was just delayed a few minutes to finish the field preparations. And a shot into right field. It's going to drop. But making the play quickly and right on one hop is Bigby. So that'll put runners at first and second, a couple of hits after 1 out, and it brings up Jason DeLay. If you missed my comment earlier about their batting average in July, Indianapolis hit an amazing .297 for the whole month of July. That's why they're pretty hot right now. Runners at first and second as DeLay batting .323 will step in. I don't think he's been in that many games. And he'll take one way outside. Yeah, let's see. DeLay has played in 19 games. He's 21 for 65. A .323 average. That's a pretty good start for him. Next pitch in from Vasquez. Hit in the air to right field. Not deep. Back 2 steps waiting. In the catch is Bigby. He'll fire in. I'll try and hold that runner, and he will get the third. Tagging at second was Peguero. He does get the third. Holding at first, Nunez, and there's 2 outs, and it brings up Seth Beer. Yep, just like the stuff you drink. B-E-E-R. Seth Beer. Vasquez hoping to get him and keep this a scoreless game. A few practice cuts taken by Beer as he steps in. He's a left-handed batter. The Indians with runners at first and third, but there are 2 outs. As Andrew deals, and the curveball is just a bit high, ball 1. Left-handed batter facing the left-handed shots of Andrew Vasquez. And the 1-0 pitch coming. Here it is. It's a curveball hit way up in the air to center, not deep at all, cruising over. Navigado, it's drifting with that wind blowing, but he makes the grab, and that is the inning as Beer flies out. Nothing across for the Indians. They had a shot with 2 hits, but they leave the 2 men on as we move on to inning number 3 at Victory Field. It's Toledo nothing, Indianapolis nothing. This is Mud Hens baseball. For the Mud Hens in the third, we'll see Steven Scott, Luis Santana, and leadoff hitter Riley Unroe. The Mud Hens playing their 104th game of the year. Pitch coming in is hit hard into right field. This is deep. If it's fair, it's going to be gone, and it's on the hill and a home run for Steven Scott. And I keep talking about the job he's done since coming up from the lower minors. And the Mud Hens are going to take a 1-0 lead. Yeah, he got it all. It's on the hill in right field. That is his second with the Mud Hens. That's the Mud Hens' first run of the game and the first run of the game for anybody. It hit up on the hill out in right field. Probably traveled around 360 or so. And that'll bring up Luis Santana. So the Mud Hens score first in this one. Let's hope they can add a few more and get back in the win column after that 6-game winning streak came to an end in Indianapolis. Swing and a miss, trying to check was Luis Santana on a big slider. He missed it, although he did try to hold, and it's strike 2 on him. Pitch coming in, and he takes a swing again. Tried to check on a low curveball, and again was fooled. Down he goes. That's strikeout number 3 for Luis Sessa. 1 out. It brings up Riley Unroe, who singled to start the game. So Unroe 1 for 1. With that home run, the Mud Hens have now hit 123. How many have been hit against them? 120. It's almost even. You hit 123, you give up 120. Unroll waits for the 0-1 pitch. Here it comes, and it's a high curveball. 1 ball, 1 strike. And again, the home run hit by Stephen Scott, giving the Mud Hens an early 1-0 lead. Pitch coming, and that one way inside. It nearly clipped him on the knee going by, but missed. Spencer Torkelson waiting to hit next. Again, there are more fans trickling into the ballpark, realizing, hey, we had tickets. The rain is gone. Let's get out there. So the attendance is slowly growing for this game. They had over 6,000 last night, 9,000 the first night. As I said, it's a big stadium. That's a capital city there. That is the major city in Indiana. And there's a walk to Unroe. He's been on base twice. That'll bring up Spencer Torkelson. Torkelson popped to short his first time up out into a short left field. Pitch coming in, a curveball. They're going to call that a strike. That's going to be challenged. It appeared to be high. That's exactly why Torque is challenging. It appeared to be high. Let's see if it was. And, yep, he's right. It's high. That's a ball. It was over the plate, but 1.5 inches or so too high. That's exactly why he challenged. Now the 1-0 is high to make it ball 2. 2-0 the count on Torkelson. Set position by Sessa, former Mud Hen, and a fly ball in the short center. That's going to drop for a hit. So after the home run and strikeout, a walk and a single as Torkelson dumps one in, and now Jace Young the batter, as the Mud Hens are trying to increase their lead. So 2 men on, 1 run in on the leadoff homer by Stephen Scott. And a chance to add to that. Let's see what Jace Young can come up with. He flied to right his first time up. Pitch coming in. He'll hit one hard right side, and it is glove night. And a bad throw to second base. A big break for the Mud Hens there. They had an easy force at second. The first baseman, Bear, just airmailed one to left field. This is what happens sometimes when you don't fire the ball. He didn't make his hardest throw. So what happens? You rainbow it. And again, the ground ball to first, Bear has it, and he just flips it way over the head of Peguero at short. So the Mud Hens take advantage of that and take a 2-0 lead, getting 2 runs here in the inning. That'll be a fielder's choice and an E3 as Unroll scored on the play. At third base now, Spencer Torkelson. And the pitch, a ball into Justice Bigby. Well, the Mud Hens committed 4 errors the first day into Indy. And now the Indians giving us 1 run back. 2-0 Toledo lead, and a pitch, a ball. Luis Sessa with a record of 4-4 with the Indians. Again, he was with the Mud Hens in 2015 for 7 starts. The 2-0 is swung on and missed. The helmet almost flew off the head of Justice Bigby. He took such a hard swing. It stayed on, but barely. Now as he rewraps the wraps around his wrist, everybody does that, it seems like, when they want to take a few seconds before the next pitch. The 2-1, he'll hit the curveball down the third baseline, foul. That one rolls dead right at the feet of Tim Fedorovich, the Mud Hens skipper. Toledo with a 2-0 lead. And the right-hander deals, and it's a curveball, slap foul. There's only one out, thanks to that error on a bad throw from Beer down to Peguero to try and get the force. It would have been an easy force. I don't think they had a chance at the double play because Beer was out of position. He had to range to his right towards second base to make the play, to make the stop. Swing and a miss on a pitch that was almost in the dirt, strike 3, and there's 2 down to bring up Andrew Navigato. So the inning should be over, so there's only going to be 1 earned run in this inning. That was the home run by Scott to start the inning. The other run is an unearned, and if any other score, they would be unearned. So let's see if the Mud Hens can take advantage of the extra chance that they're getting here in this third inning. They now have a 2-0 lead. Navigato will take a swing at one down the middle, fly ball right center. Looks like a play that will be made and is made by Sawinski from his right field position, and that's the inning. So all things considered, Luis Sessa got out of that in pretty good shape after that error cost him a run. But the Mud Hens get 2. They picked up 2 hits in the inning. There was an error, and 2 men are left on base. We move on to the bottom half of the third. At Victory Field, it's Toledo 2. Indianapolis nothing. It's Mud Hens. Steven Scott for the Mud Hens started the top of this inning with a home run, his second since coming up. And then an unearned run after an error when the Beer had the easy force at second, threw it in the left field, and scoring on the play was on roll. So the Mud Hens have a 2-0 lead. 1 run is unearned. And in the bottom half of the third, we'll see batters 9, 1, and 2 for the Indians. Matt Gorski, Edward Olivares, and Jack Sawinski. And Andrew Vasquez looking pretty good out there. He's only up to 32 pitches. And as we start the bottom of the third, the first pitch is swung on and hit into short center field. The catch made by Navigato. One quick out here in the third to bring up Jack Sawinski. He flied to right his first time up. Now as Vasquez deals, and the curve is inside. That was only his 34th pitch. We're in the third. I think there could be a possibility that he goes 4, which would be an outstanding bonus for the Mud Hens because they're using the bullpen. Matter of fact, the pitching is in total disarray right now as far as a rotation goes. It's almost a day-to-day thing. Here's a pitch down the middle. For example, tomorrow, we have no idea who is going to start. I can tell you, though, who's going to start for Indianapolis. They did announce theirs today. They haven't been giving us their pitchers every day either. And a smash down to third baseline. Good stop by Young, and he's going to gun him down. 5-3, 2 outs, and that'll bring up Henry Davis. So Jace Young was all over that one. Davis popped to first his first time up. It's supposed to be Mike Burrows tomorrow night. He was scheduled originally for yesterday's game, but he's going to go tomorrow against the Mud Hens in Toledo, not yet announcing who's going to start. There's a curveball in for a strike from Vasquez. Lyle Lockhart. How about Lyle Lockhart last night? Okay, so he lost the game, but how about 110 pitches? And the pitch in for Vasquez will miss. 79-mile-an-hour slider after a strike, so it's 1-1. And a swing and a ground ball right side. Right to second, flip to first from Santana to Torkelson. That's a quick inning. Very economical inning for Andrew Vasquez as he gets them quickly. 1-2-3. We move on to inning number 4 after that short delay. And our score remaining, Toledo 2, Indianapolis nothing. This is Mud Hens baseball. I was just looking it up to realize that we will play Indy again 6 more times at Fifth Third Field late in the season. So we're going to see them probably as much, if not more, than anybody else. And the Mud Hens were up 8-4. It's now 8-6, but they're up tonight now 2-0 as we start the 4th inning. And starting things off for the Mud Hens will be Anthony Bemboom, followed by Drew Maggi, and then Steven Scott. Kansas City just up their lead over Detroit to 4-1. Waiting for the 0-2 pitch. Anthony Bemboom, and there's a ground ball, but right to first. The scoop, the easy play by Beer as he steps on the bag, and there's 1 up and 1 down. And that'll bring up Drew Maggi, who popped to third his first time up. Both starting pitchers are still out there. Luis Sessa has been a starter for much of his career where Andrew Vasquez has not. But Andrew's off to a good start with a minimal amount of pitches. I mean, not the bare minimum, but he's been pretty efficient. And a strike into Maggi, Drew Maggi, hitting .245, waiting on an 0-1 pitch. We're in the 4th inning with the Mud Hens in front. Maggi will take a fast one just outside. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the 7th inning in Detroit, the game moving quickly. And the 1-1 is hit hard but fouled down the third baseline. That time an 81-mile-an-hour slider. 1-2 on Maggi to be followed by Steven Scott. Steven Scott hit the home run that got the Mud Hens going. That was in the last inning. He led off the inning. Let's see what Maggi gets here on the 1-2. And it's, he went for a high curveball. I don't know if he had a chance to hit that. It was up around his shoulders. He strikes out, and that'll bring up Steven Scott with 2 outs. Steven 1 for 1 with a home run to right field. I mean, that thing was up maybe above his shoulders. It was way up there. But he went ahead and took a whack at it. 2 outs. That is 5 strikeouts for Luis Sessa. But remember, I gave you the record on him earlier. He's a major league veteran, actually. He's spent several years in the major leagues, the Yankees, Cincinnati. And the 0-1 is down low, checking his swing in time, was Steven Scott. And it's 0-2 on him. Maybe they said he went around. Again, that home run got the Mud Hens rolling. Sessa ready, and he's got the signal. Here it comes, and a hard ground ball right side, out to second. Good stop by York, the flip over, and that's a quick inning. 4-3 on the play as the Mud Hens go in order. And we go to the bottom half of the 4th at Victory Field in downtown Indianapolis with the Mud Hens leading 2-0. This is Mud Hens baseball. We're going to get a new pitcher for Toledo, and a nice job turned in, though, by Andrew Vasquez. As it looks like a right-hander, Jack Anderson, is going to come in. And the first pitch, a strike. No balls, 1 strike. The batter is Nick York. So the final line on Vasquez, 3 innings, 3 strong innings, allowing just 2 hits and no runs, with no walks and a strikeout. Nice job by Vasquez. As Anderson fires one down in the dirt. Jack almost comes straight over the top with his delivery. He was with West Michigan last year. He'll deal. And the hard slider is hit to third. Nice stop by Young. The throw over in time. Did they call catcher's interference? I have a hunch that they did. We'll see. The runner never came down the first unless he fell down. Nope, the swing hit the glove apparently of Bemboom. That's catcher's interference. So that's a tough break because he had the out. Let's watch it again here. And, yep, he hit the glove with the swing. Bemboom knew it, too. The umpire heard it. So instead of an out, he gets first base on a catcher's interference, which is just like an error. We've seen that called a few times this year. So a man on with nobody out. Pitch coming in is a ball. That, by the way, was Davis. I did not mark down Matt Gorski in the last inning. So that was Davis that got first base, and a swing and a miss by York. So a man on with nobody out, bottom of the fourth inning. And Nick York, who lined to left his first time up, waits on a pitch from Anderson. It's hit out to the left side, bobbled, throw to second, and that's thrown away. So after bobbling the ball, Maggi throws it away, and everybody's safe. Maggi did not pick up the ball cleanly. He tried to hurry the throw to second, which he did, and then did not make a good throw. It was not a bad hop at all. He just booted the play and then flips it wide to second base. You know, they could actually almost charge a double error on that. I don't know if they will. So Maggi, the longtime minor league veteran, not only missed an easy bouncer. I mean, it was hit hard, but it was not a bad hop. It was right to him. Took his eye off of it. And now Anderson's got himself in a jam. Not his fault. Here's a bunt. He'll throw to first in time, so a sacrifice will be awarded. And a good bunt laid down to move those runners up. Let's see if they gave... They may have just given him one error. The other error on the board, I think, is the catcher's interference. So I think Maggi only picked up one error there. Now, as Anderson in his first inning, the victim of a catcher's interference. And here's one way up in the air to left field. Down in that corner, it's going to be catchable right in the corner, and the grab made by Unroll. But they had a runner at third who's going to score to make it 2-1, and that throw gets away from the home plate. They're going to score again. Boy, the Mud Hens are just throwing it all around the diamond here in the fourth inning, as they allowed both runs to score. So Nunez with that sacrifice fly will get credit for one RBI. Then an overthrow at the plate. We'll take another look at this play. As Unroll fired in, and then the throw got away and rolled all the way in past the plate. Nobody really backed it up, and they scored 2 to tie the game. Pretty much a giveaway in this inning with the catcher's interference, a couple of errors. Yes, they have charged another error. And it goes to Unroll for throwing the ball wildly down the third baseline. And stepping in now is Jason DeLay. As he waits, and he'll hit one hard and foul down the third base line. Tough inning for Anderson. It's not his fault. The Mud Hens have 3 errors on the board in this inning. A catcher's interference, a bad throw by the shortstop to second, and an overthrow from left field. And the game is tied. Undoubtedly, we're going to see 2 unearned runs on the board. Well, that's baseball. You got to make the plays. As Anderson deals in a fly ball into center, This should be caught. It will be caught by Navigado. And that should end the inning. But boy, what a tough inning it was. Errors in the inning, 3 altogether. They tie the game at 2 as we move on to inning number 5. Toledo 2, Indy 2. This is Mud Hens baseball. Mud Hens just committed a catcher's interference, a throwing error from the shortstop to second base, and a throwing error in from left field, all adding up to 2 unearned runs in a tie game. But at least it's tied, as the first batter here for the Mud Hens in the 5th will be Luis Santana. He struck out his first time up. And the pitch in, he'll swing and miss at the hard slider. Sessa's still out there. Well, it all started with that catcher's interference on a swing that hit Bemboom's glove. So that's an automatic error. Then there was a ground ball out to short that could have been a double play, but Maggi took his eye off the ball, knocked it down, then threw it wildly to second. And then on a sacrifice fly to left, Unroe fired it all the way in wild, and it got past everybody at the plate to score the second run. So they got 2 in the inning to tie the game. Santana will take a curveball high and inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes on him. Pitch coming in, a ground ball out to short, scooped up neatly. The throw over is in time. Down goes Santana, 6-3. That'll bring up leadoff hitter, who's been on twice with a single and a walk, Riley Unroe. So Unroe, 1 for 1 in the game. And hopefully the Mud Hens can bounce back from that rough inning. They committed 4 errors on Tuesday. Here we are on Thursday committing 3 in 1 inning, allowing 2 runs to score. Sessa deals, and it's a high fastball. Well, the good news is the game is tied. The Mud Hens didn't fall behind, but they did give them 2 runs. Next pitch, a ball. With 1 out after Unroe, it's Spencer Torkelson in this 2-2 tie. See, Anderson looked pretty good. It wasn't his fault that there were 3 errors committed in the inning, because he was throwing the ball well. The only thing they hit decent was the sacrifice fly. Next pitch in is bounced off the leg of Unroe. That'll run the count to 2-2 on him. Spencer Torkelson to follow. The Mud Hens got 2 in the 3rd. And then moments ago, 2 in the 4th for Indy. Pitch coming in as a curveball hit to the right side. That will be knocked down beautifully by the second baseman. The throw was real close at first base, but they called him out. Unroe is out on a very close play. He almost got it through the infield. A nice diving play by York. Spinning around, getting up off the knee, firing over to first just in time. 4-3 on the play to bring up Spencer Torkelson. Here comes the pitch in. Oh, look out, way up under the chin of Spencer to make it ball 1. As we move along at a fairly good pace after that very short delay to start the game. The 1-0 is down the middle. It's 1-1 on Spencer. He's going to challenge. He thinks it was too high. He won a challenge earlier the same way. Let's see if this one is 1 again. Here it comes. Yep, it's high. It's a ball. It just missed the zone. He's been pretty good with his challenges. Missed by a half inch. I know it doesn't sound like much, but in baseball it actually is when you're trying to hit that zone. There's a pitch down low to Torque to make it 3-0. With 2 outs, Jay Shung to follow. Here's that 3-0. And it's a strike at the belt. He's not going to challenge that one. It was close. He knows that if he challenged that one, he might lose it, so it's 3-1. That was Sessa with the signal. Here it comes, and that's a strike. It drops in there. That's two of them that dropped in at the belt to make it 3-2. As again, Spencer thought he was going to first base, but it's 3-2 on him. He was rubbing his right eye there a little bit, but whatever it was, he's ready to go. Pitch in is hit in the air to left field deep. And Spencer Torkelson is going to make them pay. It is gone. Up on the hill past the 418 sign. At least a 430-foot blast, if not more. It went way over that 418 sign. And so Spencer Torkelson with that long bomb gets the Mud Hens back in front, 3-2. His ninth with Toledo. He had 2 on Sunday. And that'll bring up Jace Young. Tell you, when he hits them, they're usually not cheapies. He hits them a long ways. And now the Mud Hens back in front. 3-2 without those errors. It would be a 3-0 game, but hey, that's baseball. And the ground ball to second off the bat of Young. He's out 4-3, and that is the inning. But the Mud Hens are back in front on the home run by Torkelson. His ninth with the Mud Hens, his 34th RBI. That was the only hit, nobody left. We move on to the bottom half of the fifth in Indianapolis. It's Toledo 3, Indianapolis 2. This is Mud Hens baseball. One back to regain the lead on the home run by Spencer Torkelson. And here come the Indians in their half of the fifth. First batter is Seth Beer. He'll take a swing and miss, strike one. So again, Anderson has not given up an earned run. He has actually looked pretty good as the right-hander fires, and the curveball is outside and high to make it 1 ball, 1 strike. Andrew Vasquez pitched a strong 3 to start the game, allowing 2 hits but no runs. Next pitch in is fouled away down the third baseline. Vasquez didn't walk anybody, which was important, and he struck out 1. Anderson has been in since the 4th, the victim again of the catcher's interference and 2 more errors that made it a 3-error inning, allowing the Indians to get on the board, but now the Mud Hens back in front. Pitch in from Anderson, a hard slider. Did he go? He did not, says the third base umpire. Seth Beer, Matt Gorski, and then leadoff hitter Edward Olivares here in the bottom half of the fifth. The pitch from Jack is a bounce foul. Kansas City now leads Detroit 6-1 late in the game. Sean Gunther just called up today. Is in the game. Now, he pitched pretty well for the Mud Hens. If anybody deserved it, he did. Also, Hanafy's up now. And a ground ball to first. Good play by Torkelson. He's a pretty good defensive infielder. He makes the play. On Beer, 1 out, it brings up Matt Gorski. 3 unassisted on the play. As Gorski, who flied to center his first time up, will step in. Pitch in is swung on and missed. Good slider from Anderson. Well, so far what we've seen of Jack Anderson, he looks pretty good. Get back in there. Jack ready, here it comes. And a fastball in the dirt. But he had one to waste. He's got a couple to waste, actually, but you like to waste that 0-2 pitch, hoping they'll chase it, and sometimes they do. That was just too far away to chase. Here comes the 1-2 from Jack. And it's right down the middle, but fouled straight back and out of play. A good fastball at 92 miles an hour. Now the right-hander deals, and he serves it up a little bit low. As Gorski saw that all the way and did not come close to a swing. The count on him is 2-2. And the right-hander deals. And the curveball comes over the plate, but a little bit too high now to make it a full count after Jack was up 0-2. It's now 3-2. With the Mud Hens leading 3-2. Despite making 3 errors in 1 inning. And the 3-2, he chased a bad one. He went for a ball that was in the dirt. He knew it. He's upset with himself. He slams the bat down and heads back to the dugout. See, this is why most hitters are guess hitters. The guy's thinking, hey, 3-2, I'm going to get a good pitch. He had it in his mind. He was going to get a good pitch, and it actually hit in front of the plate, and he took the swing. He tried to check but went too far. That's the first strikeout for Anderson. 2 down. It brings up leadoff hitter Edward Olivares, who gets a strike. We're in the bottom half of the 5th, and we have a challenge. And it is a strike. So the challenge fails. That was lodged there by Edward Olivares. And I don't know if they're out of challenges yet. I don't think they are. They may have 1 left. And the 0-1 is fouled back at strike 2. Bottom half of inning number 5. Now the 0-2 is popped up. It is just off the infield. Santana has it. That's a 1-2-3 inning, and Jack Anderson is looking pretty strong as the Indians go 1-2-3. We move on to inning number 6 in the 3rd game of the series, and despite the fact the Mud Hens had a bad inning, they still have a 3-2 lead. This is Mud Hens. Well, a few more folks showed up at Victory Field, but a lot of them probably stayed home because of the rain, a hard rain that led up to about an hour before game time. And we had a slight delay because it took them a while to get the field ready. We started 13 minutes late at around 7:18. But no problem since, and there's no more rain coming until around midnight, so we should be in good shape as Justice Bigby starts the inning. He takes a couple of balls. It's 2-0. Bigby, Navigado, and Bemboom here in the 6th. Pitch in is a ball outside. And digging right back in, Mr. Bigby waits. Here's the 3-0. And that's a strike. At the knees, it's 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Top half of the 6th. 3-2, the Mud Hens lead. And a fast one swung on, fouled away, straight back over the roof and out to the lot off the bat of Bigby, who was grounded to 3rd and then struck out. And the 3-2, he grounds one out to short. They flip over to 1st in time. 6-3 on the play to get Bigby. There's 1 down. That'll bring up Andrew Navigado. I think the big thing for the Mud Hens was the fact that when they gave them the 2 runs, and I mean they were gifts, they didn't let it bother them too much. It probably bothered them during that inning, but they came right back and grabbed the lead on the Torkelson home run. It's 3-2. Not a big lead, but a lead. And a curveball, a strike into Andrew Navigado. As the 0-1 will come. Here it comes, and that's outside. Well, you can tell what time of the year it is. That familiar sound of the fall coming towards us. Now the 1-1 will come. And it's a curveball right through the heart of the zone to make it 1 ball, 2 strikes. After Navigado, it's Anthony Bemboom. Sessa ready. Here it comes. He's up to 85 pitches, and that's a ball. Now, he's a starter. He's a major league veteran. He should be able to hang around a little while. Of course, that'll be up to Miguel Perez, their skipper. And the 2-2, he checked the swing but still fouled it away. So the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. As Sessa taking a deep breath. He's probably getting a little bit winded. He's been out there for the whole game. And there's a shot down the third baseline. What a stop there by Nunez. And he got him. Wow, that's a great stop by Nunez on a bullet. Down the third baseline, 5-3 on the plate. Brings up Anthony Bemboom. Anthony Bemboom with a strikeout and a ground ball to first. The Mud Hens have 4 hits in the game, and the Indians have only 2. And their 2 runs were unearned. So let's see what Bemboom can come up with here. As Sessa deals. And it's a high one, ball 1. The Mud Hens 3 and the Indians 2 were in the 6th inning at Victory Field. As Luis again ready to go. And his 1-0. Bemboom takes a ball in the dirt. It's 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Again, the Mud Hens have not announced the pitcher for tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of that coming up down the stretch with all the changes that were made. And a lot of people getting elevated that probably didn't expect it. But the Tigers were busy at the trade deadline. Ground ball to first. Good stop there by Beer. Grabs it, steps on the bag. That's a 1-2-3 inning. The Mud Hens down in order as we move on to the bottom half of the 6th at Victory Field in downtown Indy. The score, Toledo 3, Indianapolis 2. This is Mud Hens baseball. The Mud Hens leading 3-2 in downtown Indianapolis. The bottom of the 6th about to happen. With Jack Sawinski, Henry Davis, and Nick Yolte, the first 3 to face. Whoever's coming out there, let's see if Jack Anderson stays in. He's been looking pretty good in his short time out on the mound. But I think he's going to stay in there. And the first batter is Jack Sawinski. And the pitch coming in. And that's a ball. Now the next pitch in is outside. That one sailed outside on Jack. Andrew Vasquez, a nice start, 3 innings, 2 hits, but no runs allowed. Here's that 1-1 actually, and now it's going to be 2-1. Let's update that count to 2-1 on Sawinski, Davis next, and then York. Heart of their order here in the 6th inning. As Jack rocks, here it comes, and a swing and a miss on a hard slider. 84 miles an hour. And that'll even things up at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Anderson ready. His 2-2 is a little bit low to run it to a full count. At this particular time, you're on the road, you're up 1. You got to challenge him now. Make him swing. And the 3-2 on the way. Ooh, a good one. He fouls it back till he got the swing in and just got a piece of that ball. As it rolls back. Sawinski again waiting for a 3-2, and here it is. Woo, that was close. But called the ball, and I don't think there's a challenge, but that was really close. As Sawinski gets a leadoff walk. That's going to bring up Henry Davis. Now, so far, Anderson has not given up a hit. He's pitching in his 3rd inning. As he deals in a high foul ball behind the plate to make it strike 1. Right now, the Mud Hens with 3 runs, 4 hits, and 3 errors that cost them a couple of runs, while the Indians took advantage of that to score their 2 runs. They only have 2 hits in the game, and they've been charged with 1 error. The 0-1 from Jack, and a high fly ball to right field. Coming in, though, and with plenty of room, Bigby Hill make the grab, and there's 1 out as Sawinski has to hold it first. 1 down, Nick York, the next batter. So with 2 down, or actually 1 down, excuse me, and a man on, the curveball is in there for a strike on York. York banged into a fielder's choice, but an error saved the play. He was actually safe. He also has line to left. Just one of those ugly innings, but yet the Mud Hens survived it, and they are back in front. Especially, Drew Maggie's a veteran guy, and it's unusual for him to miss a ground ball that was right to him. And then he did pick it up and tried to get the force at second and threw that away. He actually could have been charged with 2 errors, but was only charged with 1. Pitch coming in, a big swing and a foul ball out of play. We're looking at Jack Anderson for the first time this season. A 24-year-old, certainly a prospect. And York waiting for the 0-2. Here it comes, and it sails wide. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bottom half of the 6th inning. In a game that's moving along fairly well. We didn't start until 7:18. It was a 13-minute delay. Now as Anderson will serve up the 1-2. It's hit up in the air towards right, but it's foul and going out of play down that first baseline. Well, the fans got a bit of a break with the clouds, although there was a lot of rain earlier that cleared the area in time to get this game going just a few minutes late. And what else is approaching the area will not hit their area till midnight or later. And the 1-2. Swinging a ground ball out to short, and Maggie's got it to second one, back to first, no problems. This time, 6-4-3 on the inning-ending double play. So nothing across. There were no hits in the inning. Nobody left on base. We go to inning number 7 in downtown Indianapolis. The Mud Hens lead them 3-2. This is Mud Hens baseball. There were a lot of moves made today. The Mud Hens picked up several guys, mostly from the lower minors. One of those in there right now, pitching very well, Jack Anderson. I wonder if he can stay in there a while because he has been almost unhittable. Matter of fact, he hasn't given up a hit. He was charged with a couple of unearned runs because of a catcher's interference and 2 more errors in the inning. And we're going to get a new pitcher, it looks like, for Indianapolis. A left-hander is coming on. And he's going to deliver, and a swing and a miss by the Mud Hens' first batter, Drew Maggi. Maggi has popped a third and then struck out. This is Michael Plasmeyer. Michael Plasmeyer in the game. Well, they got some distance out of Luis Sessa, although he could be the loser unless they rally. As Maggi waits on the 0-2, and it's fouled straight back. Count still strike 2. Michael Plasmeyer, 27 years old, from St. Louis. They got him as a free agent last December during the offseason. Maggi waits on another 0-2. Here it is. He'll lay off. It's outside. It's a ball and 2 strikes on him. Maggi, Scott, and Santana here in the Mud Hens 7th. With Toledo leading 3-2. Plasmeyer deals, and a swing and a miss, and down goes Maggi. He's fanned twice in the game. 0 for 3 now for Drew, and now Steven Scott with a home run and a ground out to second will be the batter. Sessa gives them 6 strong innings. He allowed 4 hits, 1 a home run by Scott. Charged with 3 runs. They are all earned. And he did wind up with 5 strikeouts. Talking about the start of Luis Sessa. His control wasn't bad. He walked only 1. So he kept him in the game. And the batter now is Steven Scott. He's going to take a fastball right down the middle after the first pitch missed, so it's 1-1. Well, let's see what Plasmeyer's done for the Indians so far this season. He's 1-8. Whoa, goodness. That hit me right in the face. And there's a shot into right field. That's a base hit. A one-out single for Scott, who has a home run and a single. It brings up Luis Santana. Again, there are other people that we may see in the lineup tomorrow outside of the pitching staff. Just to give you an example, Eddie's Leonard is back. Trey Sweeney is in the fold now. And in the outfield, Patrick Lee has joined the club. Pitch coming in from Plasmeyer is too high. That's a ball into Santana with a man on, a man out. This is game 3 of the 6-game set. Time call now. Stepping back for a moment is Luis Santana. Plasmeyer just the second pitcher. Actually, at this point in the game, both teams have only used 2 pitchers. Santana waits on the 1-0. It's hit up in the air behind the plate, out of play. It's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sounds like the locals, huh? Right on cue, August the 1st. You're going to hear him now for the rest of the summer and fall, no doubt, as Santana waits on a 1-1. Michael Plasmeyer, left-hander, ready to go. Here it comes, and it's a swing and a big high pop-up off first base, waiting for it. The first baseman, he'll make the grab. That is Beer with the play, and there's 2 down to bring up Riley Unroll with a single, a walk, and a ground out. So Unroll will get in there with Steven Scott at first base. And we started to look at the numbers on Plasmeyer. 1-8 with a 9.14 ERA in 17 games. Now, he started 10 times. It's probably where most of his losses came in. And get this, with just 44 in the third inning, 63 hits allowed. He has not had a good year. Here's a drive to left that goes foul. That was hit deep, but pulled foul by Riley Unroll. Plasmeyer's given up 47 runs in 44 innings. 11, however, though, the walks and strikeouts aren't bad. 11 walks, 57 strikeouts. Nothing else looks too good. I'm sure he's not real happy with those numbers either, except for the walks and strikeouts. And there's a strike over the outside corner to Riley Unroll, a fastball. And it's strike 2 on him. Strike 2 on Unroll. We're in the 7th. Stretch time is just ahead. As Michael sets up his 0-2, is hit in the air hard to right center. That's a base hit. You should never give up a hit on an 0-2 pitch. That's what every pitcher is going to tell you. Every pitching coach will tell you the same thing, but it happens. Holding at second base is Scott, and the batter now, Spencer Torkelson, with a single and a home run in this game. How about Unroll? A 12-game hitting streak now, and already 2 hits in this game. Torkelson, a pop up to short, a single, and a home run to deep left center, about a 430-footer. His 9th with the Mud Hens. He'll take a ball, low and inside. He'd love to come up with something here to give the Mud Hens a little bit bigger lead, although it was his home run that got him back in front 3-2. Plasmeyer sets up. The 1-0 is hit way up in the air. But this one, I don't think's going to make it. Let's see. It's caught on the track, deep center field. As Olivares got back and had about 6 feet to spare to deep center field, and that is the inning. As Torque almost did it again. The Mud Hens will not score in the 7th. They picked up 2 hits, and they leave a pair. It's stretch time at Victory Field in Indianapolis with the score. Toledo 3, Indianapolis 2. This is Mud Hens baseball. All right, we go on to the bottom half of the 7th with Toledo leading 3-2. And Easton Lucas is now coming on. He was up with Detroit for a few days. Jack Anderson did a nice job. He held them hitless. The only 2 runs were on all the errors in that 4th inning. As Easton Lucas now will take over. In the bottom of the 7th, he'll be facing Leover Peguero, who takes a ball just a little bit low. And there's a challenge. Yes, Bemboom thinks that's a strike. It looked pretty good, so let's see. And he's right, it's a strike. So Bemboom wins that challenge. It's a strike to Peguero with Malcolm Nunez next, and then Jason DeLay. So Anderson goes 3 innings. Does not allow a hit. 2 unearned runs on all those errors that all popped up in the same inning. He walked only 1 and struck out 1. Lucas deals, and a hard slider is low and inside. That'll make it 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tomorrow night's game, Friday night, a 7:05 start, just like Saturday. Sunday a day game, a fly ball foul, first base side. Yeah, Lucas got up there for a few days with Detroit, but he's back now. And taking a look at his numbers with the Mud Hens, 1-1. With Las Vegas, he was 2-0. He deals, and a hard one is just missing inside and a bit low. 95 miles an hour. That makes it 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, his ERA in Vegas was 2.87. He'll deal. There's a swing and a fly ball to left. It's going to be falling in. Nobody could get to it. A soft looper. He's going to wind up with a double. On a little pop-up down the third base line that nobody could get to. Everybody chased it. And he winds up with a double. That's the potential tying run. The next batter is Malcolm Nunez. Watching this again. He was watching it for a while. And it's just in one of those spots where nobody could get there. Young chased it down. Maggi tried to get there, and it winds up a double. So that's the potential tying run. And it brings up Malcolm Nunez with a single and a sacrifice fly. Lucas deals, and a hard slider inside ball 1. With the 2 teams combined, Lucas 3-1, a 3.79 ERA. That's all his numbers put together. And a fly ball up in the air to left. Another one that's not too deep. Into the bullpen and reaching up. Did he get it? Oh, he hurt his rib. And he hit that wall behind the bench. He actually hit the back of the bench, the bullpen bench. He gets up, heading back out to left field where he just couldn't quite hang on to that. He's in a little pain over there. But he goes right back out to left field. Watching this again as he races into their bullpen bench, and he just bangs his ribs, or right into the back of the bench. It's a hard back. It's not a soft back. And he's holding his right rib cage for a moment. I think that'll wear off. He says, I'm fine. It feels better already. And the count is 1-1 on Malcolm Nunez. What an effort, though. He nearly caught that. Pitch coming in, shot towards first. Nice play and a double play. What a break there, a smash that could have been a run-producing hit. But no, it went to Torkelson, who grabbed it. He fires down to Santana, and they get the line drive double play. So that'll make up for that bloop double. But what a nice grab by Torkelson. He was the only guy over there, too. They had the shift on around the third. The only guy over there went right to him. A 3-4 line drive double play. Boy, is that a big play? 2 outs. John DeLay, the batter. He'll hit one up in the air to center field. Not deep at all. Navigado cruising over, waiting. Has it. That's the inning. Boy, that inning turned quickly in the Mud Hens' favor after a leadoff double. They will not score. They pick up a hit, just their third of the game. Nobody left on base. We go to the 8th inning at Victory Field. It's still Toledo 3, Indianapolis 2. This is Mud Hens baseball. This exciting game continues as the Mud Hens, all the way back in the 4th inning, tried to give it away. They somehow survived the inning, allowing 2 unearned runs, and that's the only 2 runs that Indy has, as the Mud Hens lead at 3-2. Now we're in the 8th inning. This is Jace Young. Plasmeyer fires a ball outside. Michael Plasmeyer, the left-hander, pitching his 2nd inning. He gave up 2 hits in the 7th, but got away with it. Young, Bigby, and Navigado here in the 8th inning. Plasmeyer fires. And a swing and a high pop-up near third base. Looks like an easy play in foul ground. The catch is made by Nunez, and there's 1 down. And then pop up to third. That'll bring up Justice Bigby, who's 0 for 3. 2 ground outs and a strikeout. There is only 9 hits in this game, and Toledo has 6 of those. While Indianapolis, on fire in July, not starting that well in August. This is the first, of course. As I mentioned, they hit .297 as a team in July, which led their charge. And by the way, tonight they were going for their 9th straight win as the Mud Hens try to snap that streak. Plassmeyer fires and a swing and a foul ball out of play off the bat of Bigby. Justice entered the game batting .257. Looking up and down the Mud Hens roster, there's a lot of new guys on this roster, and we haven't seen all of them yet. May take a few days before we see them all. There's a foul ball out of play. Eddie's Leonard is back. It's good to have him back. Trey Sweeney is wearing number 29. He's got Hanafy's old number. He hasn't played yet, but he's a shortstop. You got Patrick Lee, an outfielder that has come in from the lower minors. All these guys are going to get a chance, and a strikeout. Down goes Bigby, swinging, and that'll bring up Andrew Navigato. Navigato 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a fly to right, and a ground ball to third. Navigato with 13 homers on the season, batting with 2 outs in the 8th. Well, it's up to the Mud Hens pitching staff now. You'd like to add something here, but if you don't, you do have a 1-run lead. We'll hope the pitching can hold up as it has. No earned runs charged to the Mud Hens pitching staff tonight. A whole flock of geese just went past left field, and thank goodness they didn't land. Every once in a while you'll see that, and they'll land on the field. And you keep playing, and they'll run when you run towards them normally. The worst was in Buffalo, where the gulls would come in every night, and they would land on the field. And sometimes as many as 20 or 30 would be out in the outfield. They would continue to play, hoping that they would move or not get hit with a baseball. Count now 1 ball, 2 strikes on Navigato. With 2 outs and nobody on, the Mud Hens have a 1-run lead. Plassmeyer fires, and it's a strike called and a challenge there. It looked to be low. Plassmeyer is rolling his eyes. I think he even thinks it might be too low, so let's see. And, yes, it's too low. It's a ball. It is a ball. I think Michael knew it. He kind of rolled his eyes when the challenge was made. The Mud Hens have been very good with the challenges tonight. A lot of them, most of them have paid off. So now it's 2-2. Here it comes, and a swing, and now he goes down on strikes, and that's the inning. So the Mud Hens down 1-2-3. We go on to the bottom half of the 8th inning in downtown Indianapolis with the score, Toledo 3, Indianapolis 2. This is Mud Hens baseball. Kansas City beat the Tigers tonight 7-1. Seth Lugo had the Tigers under control, just 4 hits allowed in 8 innings. 7-1 final. Of course, Detroit also using guys that they didn't expect to have now. But they dulled away some key pieces to pick up some prospects, hoping for the future. And the first pitch in from Easton Lucas to Seth Beard nails him right in the right side. Needless to say, that one got away. I mean, he nailed him. Right in the, actually the upper right shoulder. I thought it got him in the ribs, but hit mostly shoulder. We're going to take another look at it here in a moment. Bear's still not too happy about it, but things happen. And you're going to get hit once in a while. And he's coming out for a pinch runner. Alvarez is going to run for him. Andres Alvarez will run for Beer. So let's get that marked down. As we're in the 8th inning, that's the potential tying run over there. Pitch coming in, a sidearm fastball for a strike. Let me just pass along to you. That was not Lucas that did that. That's one of the new guys. Gabriel Sekera up from A-ball. As he fires a strike, the guy's got some heat. So he hits the first batter that he faces as a Toledo Mud Hen. Easton Lucas only went 1 inning. With a man on, nobody out. Matt Gorski, the batter. Here it comes, and the sidearm breaking pitch stays outside. That'll make it 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the bottom half of the 8th. The Mud Hens clinging to a 3-2 lead. A 26-year-old from Dallas, Texas, Gabriel Sekera. And his 1-2 coming is swung on and missed. He got him, and down goes Gorski. That'll bring up leadoff hitter Edward Olivares with 1 down. Kyler Montero was the starter for Detroit tonight. You look at his numbers now, they're about like the numbers were in Toledo. He had a couple of good starts to start, but he hasn't had a smooth sailing ship since. As Olivares takes one down in the dirt, and did that hit him? I think it did. That means that Sekera has hit 2 batters, got himself in a big jam now by hitting people. That's what you don't want when you're nursing a 1-run lead. But again, they want to see what all these guys can do. And he hit him on the left foot. So he's hit 2 batters of the first 3 that he's faced. And that'll bring up Jack Sawinski. Easton Lucas had a strong inning but did not come out for the next one. So now you've got Alvarez, the pinch runner, at second. And at first base, Olivares without a hit. They were both hit with pitches. So Bemboom goes out to chat with him. Jack Sawinski is 0 for 2 with a walk. Left-handed batter up there with 2 men on. There's 1 out. The pitch into the sidearm pitch way outside, ball 1. You know, the way he delivers, it looks like it would be harder to control the strike zone. He's way down on the side. So your release point has to be perfect. And the 1-0 pitch coming. Here it is. And another one not close outside, ball 2. So 2-0, the count. He's hit 2 batters, and now he's behind this one, 2-0. There is 1 out. He did strike out Gorski. And I think Jack Sawinski is thinking, I'm not going to dig in. This guy's a little bit wild. He's hit 2 batters already. And the 2-0, yeah, in the dirt, but what was called? Something was called. I think timeout was called before the pitch was thrown. The umpire was pointing at Bemboom. So apparently that pitch did not count. Luckily, because it was a wild pitch, it would have moved the runners up and given the Indians a chance to take the lead with a single. But you know what? Everything they've gotten tonight has been a gift. The 200 runs and now 2 hit batters. Sekera will deal. And that's too low. It was over the plate, but too low at 89 miles an hour. And now 3-0. And if he walks this batter, there's going to be a bases-loaded situation here in the 8th inning. Sekera fires, and that's a strike. He got it over to make it 3-1. A side-arming lefty. Yeah, can he come back and throw another one and force it to a full count? The 3-1 do. Here it is. He takes a swing, hits it hard, and it's going into right field. That's probably going to tie the game. It will. The throw back in, and it's a 3-3 tie, so the 2 hit batters certainly didn't help. As Sawinski singles to right field, we're tied. And now the Indians have a good chance here to grab the lead in the 8th inning, which is exactly what they'd love to do, to force the Mud Hens to score in the 9th inning. Toledo has led most of the night, but only by 2 runs for a while until 2 unearned runs, and then a run on the a 1-run lead on the home run by Torkelson. That's gone now, as the pinch runner Alvarez scored on that. And that'll bring up Davis, who takes the ball. And Bemboom is able to knock it down. That was about to be a wild pitch. So they've got runners at second and third. A base hit would give them the lead. Actually, just about anything now, it's a 3-3 tie. And time is called. The plate umpire, I don't know what he's talking about here. Oh, I think what they've decided to do is give Davis the walk, the intentional walk, which you can do. You can just tell him to go to first base. That's what they're going to do and take their chances with Nick York with the bases loaded. And they only have one hit in the inning, one single. And they only have 4 hits in the entire game, and they've tied the game. So Davis gets the intentional walk. And here comes Nick York, or will we get a change? A lot of people headed towards the mound. That might be it for Sekera. No, actually, it's Doug Bachler. So there won't be a change. As Bachler gets out there to talk with everybody in this 3-3 ball game, bases loaded, only one out, in Indianapolis with an excellent opportunity here to grab the lead. Well, now you can go back to that 4th inning when they committed 3 errors to allow the Indians 2 runs, the only 2 they had until moments ago. So instead of a potential 3-1 lead, it's a 3-3 tie. They're going to leave Sekera out there to see if he can get out of this, but he's been a little bit wild, hitting 2 batters of the first 3 that he faced. And the batter now, Nick York. Nick York, a right-handed batter. Sekera fires, and the curveball is a strike, outside corner, strike 1. And let's see if he can get out of this and keep the game tied. Sekera deals, and it's fouled back, so he's in front of this batter, strike 2. So a good start, at least in this particular situation. Again, Easton Lucas went 1 inning and gave up a hit, but nothing else. No walks, no strikeouts. Sekera deals, and the 0-2 is hit hard, and it's a base hit down in the corner. The Mud Hens are going to trail. That's probably going to score at least 2, if not 3. As Bigby digs it out of the corner, the throw back in. And it took them all night long, but the hot Indianapolis Indians, taking advantage of errors and a couple of hit batters in this inning, have taken the lead. And the fans that are in attendance are pretty happy about it, as he nailed one into that right field corner. He being Nick York. And that's going to make it a 5-3 ball game. They have scored 3 in the inning. Scoring there was Olivares and Sawinski. So a rally late in the game, and the Indians trying to make it 3 straight in the series. But you had 2 tough innings, the one with the 3 errors, and now this inning with 2 hit batters that got them going. 5-3 Indy. That was a double for York. He's at second. Davis at third. The Mud Hens, of course, will get one more shot in the 9th. Nick York with a 2-run double here to bust up a 3-3 tie. Next pitch from Sekera is a ball. So their first 2 runs were unearned, but now, in this inning, they've scored 3. And they are all earned. But the break they got was the 2 batters getting it in the first 3. They hit the first batter, Beer. Alvarez came in to run for him. And after a strikeout, then he hit Olivares. So you give them a couple of free base runners, and they've taken advantage. Pitch coming in from Sekera is a ball. That's a walk to reload him. To reload him for Malcolm Nunez. So that moves Davis over to third. York's at second, and Peguero gets the walk. and Malcolm Nunez, the next batter, the Indians have rallied to take a 5-3 lead, and they're about to win their 9th straight unless the Mud Hens come up with a rally in the 9th inning. Well, you brought a couple of new guys in, and Jack Anderson was very strong. But now the first appearance for Gabriel Sequeira has not been good for him as he fires a ball outside. You know, it's kind of a trial and error period for the Tigers now. They want to see what a lot of people can do at different levels as they have moved a lot of people up. Swing and a miss on the curveball from Sequeira. But the Indians have scored 3 times. They have just 2 hits in the inning, a single and a double. Outside of that, 2 walks and 2 hit batters. Next pitch just misses Nunez. It just missed his belt, and the count on him now is 2-1. I think, it's going to get down to the point, and I think fans understand this. People come to the game, though, to have a good time. It's like a family night. But as far as wins and losses are concerned, Detroit now is using the last month and a half of the season as a testing ground to see what everybody can do at different levels as they try to rebuild. It's been a 10-year process since they were in the playoffs. A lot of the rebuilds have failed. We'll see how this one goes. And the 3-1 from Sequeira, swing and a miss to make it 3-2. There's only 1 out. They've already scored 3 with just 2 hits. 2 hit batters and 2 walks mixed in. The only out was a strikeout. He's up to 28 pitches in this inning, he being Gabriel Sequeira. Pitch in is fouled away, and that was a pretty good fastball. Although noting his fastballs are only in the 88 to 90 range. He's not throwing as hard as most people, but you know what? Throwing from the side like that makes it a little bit harder to generate a lot of velocity. Now the 3-2, and he swings and hits it out to center field, base hit, as Navigado comes up throwing, and that's going to make it a 6-3 game. This one may look like it was never close by the time it ends, as Nunez comes through with a hit out into center field. And Navigado came up with it quickly. And so now it's a 6-3 game, and the bases are still loaded. That one scored Davis. Bases still loaded. Here's a pop-up in foul ground. The infield fly rule is called as Torkelson makes the play just into foul territory. And that was Jason DeLay, so he pops out, and coming back as the 10th batter in this inning will be Seth Beer. Well, it won't be Beer because he had a pinch runner come in, Alvarez, who's going to have to hit. He'll be the 10th batter in the inning. But they've scored 4 runs to take a lead here in the 8th inning. Pitch, ooh, look out, way up over the head of the catcher. That's going to score another run, and a wild pitch from Sequeira. He has just been a little bit too wild. Hitting 2 batters. That one did not give Ben Boom a chance to flag it down as York scores on the wild pitch. You see in the dugout, marking on the lineup card on the wall, is Tim Garland. So after the Mud Hens controlled the game almost all the way, they bring in this lefty for his first AAA appearance, Gabriel Sequeira. Did he just hit another batter, or is that a replay? They're just showing how the inning started. When it looked like the Mud Hens had this one under control, of course, the 2 unearned runs got the Indians back in it in the 4th inning. Mud Hens will get one more shot in the 9th. They've scored 7 in every game in this series. They got 7 again. Another pitch, almost a wild one. And this is Gorski, who struck out earlier in this inning. As Sekera deals. And that's a good one. He had swung on and missed. And he got that one over. Seven to 3 our score. It turned quickly right here in the 8th inning. And a swing and a foul ball out of play. This is the 11th batter in the inning. Matt Gorski, who started this inning with a strikeout. They still have 3 men on. But now there's 2 outs. Count 1 and 2 on Gorski. And time called for a moment. I think fans that come to the game will enjoy seeing some of the younger guys coming up to see what they can do. You're not really in any kind of a playoff chase anyway. And there's a swing and a miss. And guess what? Matt Gorski strikes out twice in the inning. And he's going to hear it from his teammates after the game. But they break this game open with a 5-run inning. And what'd they have? Just one. They had 3 hits. That was it. 3 hits, 11 men at the plate. Hit batters, walks, all adding up to a big rally as they leave 3. We go to the 9th inning. The Mud Hens will take their final shot. Our score, Indy 7, Toledo 3. It's Mud Hens baseball. Michael Plastmeyer still in the game, the left-hander, with a chance to pick up the win. Starting things off, Anthony Bemboom, he takes a strike. Strike 1. Boy, this thing got away in a hurry in that 8th inning. The pitch coming in is a ball outside. 1-1 on Bemboom to be followed by Maggi and Scott. Gabriel Sekera went 1 inning. Gave up 5 runs on 3 hits, 2 walks, 2 hit batters, 2 strikeouts. Now we saw Jack Anderson come on and pitch 3 strong innings in the 4th, 5th, and 6th. Easton Lucas looked good. Everybody was looking pretty good, and poor old Gabriel Sekera just got lit up. But it was his own fault for being a little wild, as he hit 2 of the first 3 batters, and that kind of set the stage. They put 2 men on with 1 out, and as a good team will do, they realized they were in position to make a run, and they did. Here's the 2-2, and it's a ball to run the count to 3-2 on Anthony Bemboom. As he waits on that 3-2, Plastmeyer fires, and a swing and a miss, and down goes Bemboom for the 2nd time on strikes. And that'll bring up Drew Maggi, who's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. So Plastmeyer, since coming on, has fanned 4 and has given up 2 hits. He came in with an ERA of more than 9, but he's pitching a lot better than that. Against Toledo now as Drew Maggi steps in there. And he'll take a strike. The starting pitcher, Luis Sosa, gave up 3 runs. It would be Plastmeyer's win if they hold on, which it appears they will. Here's the 0-1. Big swing and a pop-up out of play. Strike 2 on Drew Maggi. Steven Scott's had a big game for the Mud Hens, a home run and a single. And the 0-2 due up. Here it comes. And the curveball hit back towards the mound. They got to hurry to get him. Almost a bad throw from Plastmeyer, but he makes it 1-3. And we're 1 out away from the end of this game. Not many hits. There were several mistakes. The Mud Hens committed 3 errors in 1 inning. Both teams have 6 hits on the board, but Toledo trails 7-3. That's because of the 5-run rally in the 8th inning that the Indians were able to put on the board, but they got a lot of help. And a swing and a miss by Steven Scott. Vicessa went 6. The winner would be Plasmeyer. He needs one more out to get it. Here it comes, and the curve is inside. So his record is about to move up to 2-8 from its 1-8 standing right now. Plasmeyer ready. The 1-1 is swung on and missed. Good slider. 76-mile-an-hour slider. And we may be one pitch away from the end of this game. Time is called by Steven as he steps back, and now he'll get back in there. This will be 9 straight wins for Indy. And the pitch in, he'll take a swing and pop one up, foul ground. It might be in play. Coming over and making the, well, he had it. The catcher, Delay had it and did not hold on. So the game is not over. It's not going to cost them the game, but the play should have been made most likely. I don't think they'll give him an error on that. He had a long run, and it was well out of play near the dugout. He put the glove up, it hit the glove, and popped out. So the game is not over yet. The count is 1-2 on Steven Scott. Plasmeyer ready to go, and here it comes. The 1-2 is a ball. Low and away to make it 2-2. If Scott gets on, Luis Santana bats next, barring a pinch hitter. And the 2-2. He lays off. It's a ball. It was a check swing, and the third base umpire agreed there was no swing. And so it's 3-2. Scott with a home run and a single. He has 1/3 of the Mud Hen hits. And the 3-2. He'll swing and hit it to first. Looks like a game-ending play. The step on the bag by first baseman Nunez, who moved over from third after Bear came out of the game. That's the game. And they're celebrating at Victory Field. But this is one where the Mud Hens helped them with the 3 errors in the 4th inning and then all the walks and the hit batters in the 8th to help them get 5 to win it by the final score of 7-3. Well, let's give you the final totals here, and we'll see who they give the win to. I believe, well, it's going to be Plasmeyer, right? He should get the win, and he does. And he's 2-8. His record now up to 2-8. The loss goes to Sakura, who gave up the 5-run inning in the 8th. He's 0-1, of course. The time of tonight's game, after the 13-minute delay, was only 2 hours and 13 minutes. The paid figure, $5,007. Again, it was held down because of the rain right before the game. But they still have drawn very well this year at Victory Field. So for the Mud Hens tonight, as they had the lead almost all the way to the end, you had Riley Unroll with the biggest night, a walk, 2 hits and a run scored, and a stolen base, his 11th. He now has a 12-game hitting streak. Spencer Torkelson with his home run got the Mud Hens back in front 3-2. He was 2 for 4 as they led the way. And the other hitting hero, if you will, would be Steven Scott, who had 2 hits as well, a home run and a single. So 3 guys had all the hits, 2 for Unroll, 2 for Torkelson, and 2 for Scott. That was it. Both teams only had 6 hits in the game. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night. The same time, a 7:05 start. We'll take the air at 7 o'clock. The Mud Hens have not announced a starter. It might be another bullpen game. If there's one thing that we do have now, it's plenty of pitchers. I don't know how good they all are. We saw that Jack Anderson was real tough. Gabriel Sakura struggled and got the loss. He just got himself off on the wrong foot when he hit 2 batters of the first 3 that he faced, and that kind of led to the 5-run inning. So that shall do it for this evening. Again, we'll take the air tomorrow night at 7 o'clock and see if the Mud Hens can get on the board against Indy, who now leads the series 3-0. That'll do it then for this evening. Until tomorrow, Jim Weber saying goodbye for Mud Hens baseball. Again, the final tonight was Indy 7 and Toledo 3. This has been Toledo Mud Hens baseball.
Holy Toledo!
This presentation of Toledo Mud Hens baseball has been brought to you by ProMedica, by Fifth Third Bank, Metzger's, by Corner Dental, ABC Warehouse, by Frickers, Meyer, by Toff's Dairy, and by True House. Stay tuned. The Mud Hens wrap-up show comes your way next.